Hello, I'm Nikki. Welcome to Off Grid Style. Let's get started.
So, we all know life can be unpredictable, and being ready for anything is important. That's why learning how to make a fire, even if you live in the city or the suburbs, is a smart move. In this video, we'll talk about how you can practice making fires even if you're surrounded by buildings and roads. It's all about being prepared for tough situations that might come your way. You don't want to wait until the shtf emergency has happened to learn that starting a fire, depending on the method you may have to use, can take quite a while if you've never practiced it. Finding stuff you need. First things first, you need some basic stuff to get started. Look around your surroundings. You might be surprised by what you can find. Twigs, dry leaves, and small branches are great for starting fires. You can find these in parks, wooded areas, or even along sidewalks. If you live in the suburbs, begin collecting any fallen branches you find in your yard. Keep them from getting wet and allow them to completely dry out before using them. Essentially, you're foraging, but for fire materials instead of food. Carry a plastic tub in the back of your car to put your fire building materials in. Be sure you gather enough to practice each method several times. Foraged kindling and tinder. When foraging for kindling in nature, look for dry twigs, small branches, dead leaves, and pine needles. These natural materials ignite quickly and they help build a sustainable fire. Keep an eye out also for dry grasses, birch bark, and seed pods because these make excellent tinder for starting fires in the wild. Household kindling and tinder. In urban and suburban environments, household items can serve as effective kindling and tinder. Paper scraps, cardboard, and even lint from your dryer trap are readily available and combustible materials that help ignite flames easily. Additionally, consider using cotton balls coated with petroleum jelly or wax, which create long-lasting and reliable tinder for fire-making endeavors at home or outdoors. Try using several different types of tinder so you're knowledgeable about how each reacts to flame. Where to practice? Now that you've got your materials, let's talk about where you can practice. Safety is key, so look for open spaces away from buildings and cars. Your backyard, a community park, or even an empty lot can be good places to practice. Also, if you're able, a fire pit makes a great place to practice. You can purchase one or build one yourself. While choosing a spot, be sure to look at the ground. Any dead weeds, plants, or trash can be combustible, so be sure the area is cleared. Also, make sure you're not breaking any rules or starting any fires where you shouldn't. Safety first always. And keep a large jug of water with you while practicing. This will help ensure you are as safe as possible. Different ways to make a fire. There are a few ways you can start a fire even without fancy tools or being in the wilderness. Matches and kindling. This is probably the easiest way. But at least to begin with, in most emergencies, this will also be the first type of fire you make. So practicing this method is important. Your goal is to become proficient at several ways to start fires, from simple and easy to more difficult. Grab some matches or a lighter and find small, dry sticks and leaves to get your fire going. Then build it up slowly with bigger sticks and branches. A fire starter and flint. Once you feel comfortable with the first and the easiest method, try using a fire starter and flint. You strike the flint against the fire starter to make sparks. The spark from the rod will, sooner or later, catch the tinder and create a small flame. You are now on your way to a fire. Be sure to gently blow on the small flame to keep it lit until you're able to feed it flammable kindling to keep the fire going. A bow drill. This one takes some practice, but it's pretty cool. You use a stick and a string to make a bow. Then use it to spin another stick called the spindle against a piece of wood, the fireboard, until it gets hot enough to start a fire. It's like rubbing two sticks together, but with a little bit more finesse. Choose a medium hardness wood for your fireboard, like cottonwood, willow, aspen, tamarack, cedar, sycamore, or poplar. For the spindle, use the same type of wood or a harder type. Be sure to use dead, very dry branches for your spindle and fireboard, because green wood is too wet and won't start well. This technique takes a lot of practice, so don't get discouraged. Even seasoned survivalists need many tries before creating a coal. And remember, regardless of which technique you're practicing, be sure you have plenty of supplies, as you should practice each method several times. Putting it into action. Imagine a situation where things aren't going so well. Maybe there's a power outage or a big storm or a true shtf situation. Being able to start a fire can be a game changer. It keeps you warm, it helps you cook food, and it can even be a source of comfort when things seem tough. With the skills you've learned, you're ready to face whatever comes your way. Why does it matter? Learning how to make a fire might seem like a small thing, but it's a big deal when you do need it. It's about being self-sufficient and knowing you can take care of yourself and your loved ones no matter what. You may understand the concepts of different fire-making methods, but until you practice them, you aren't truly skilled at any of them. In a true shtf situation, when your ability to create fire is put to the test, your practice and confidence will mean the difference between surviving and not surviving. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments and check out this other video. YouTube has chosen it for you to watch next based on your viewing history.